Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope we are all having an awesome day. I got up way too early for no real reason, but also another good reason. I did my Saturday sampler this morning, and it was just another, I just wanted to go for show and tell and see what else is at the quilt shop. And I actually got to show off my socialites quilt because it is done, it is bound, it is glorious, it is heavy. But everybody loved it. We didn't have a large group at show and tell Saturday sampler because I did the 8 a.m. session instead of the 9 a.m. I managed to get up like 6:30 this morning without an alarm, and it was a good thing because I wanted to go to the post office to ship something out, and it was my first shipping internationally, and I had to go through the line like three times. There was nobody there, so it's not like I was disturbing a bunch of people, but it's also, I had no idea what I was doing. So yeah, it's been a busy morning so far, and my tire's butt crack light came on this morning. It's also known as a tire light. It got so cold in the area that my air pressure apparently decided to drop while I was at Saturday Sampler. So I need to get a little bit of air in there after, as lunchtime comes. That way I can start running around again later. So, who is here today? Good morning, Shannon. I hope you are having an awesome day. Congratulations for like the 19th or 20th time from me for hitting 1,000 subscribers. That is so exciting. Good morning, Letitia, and good morning, Philippa. And I see that Stephen is here. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Vera. And good morning, Nightbot. Thank you for showing up. I'm glad to see that I've got the whole Nightbot situation resolved, it looks like. And good morning, Sally. I hope everybody is having an awesome day. Like I said, it's pretty chilly outside. That doesn't stop me from wearing my shorts, but it caused a lot of people, like especially at the post office, they were like, "Why are you wearing shorts?" I'm like, "It's not cold outside. It really isn't." And then somebody also asked me, they're like, "What time does the post office open?" And I said, "Well, the sign over there says 8:45, but the website says 8:30, so I don't know who to believe." And it was like 8:46 when I got there. Oh, good morning, Judy, and good morning, Donna, and also good morning, Beverly. So I have decided that I am going to hopefully finish the Matters of the Heart Fort Worth Fabric Studio quilt along. I know Singles Awareness Day was this past Wednesday. It was, yeah, it was a day, but also, um, yeah, there was no way I was going to have this finished by Wednesday with the pattern being released on Monday. I know a lot of people have, but work was crazy again this week. I'm tired of that. Good morning, Melissa. Sally says it's 22 degrees, very cold and snowy. Not jealous. Good morning, Donnell. I'm well. How are you? So, I did a little bit of prep work last night because I didn't want to be here at the machine trying to figure out, do I want the blocks to go this way? Do I want the blocks to go that way? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? So it was actually throughout the week. Some of it was done yesterday, some of it was done Wednesday, some of it was done actually Monday after the pattern came. Uh, I um, I put the inside border, sashing, whatever we want to call it, around the center medallion square. So that's already done. Where is that? That is here. And I've already started pinning stuff. So I've got that center medallion on, and I've already prepped it for sewing. And then I also while I was doing things, I got my shattered blocks sewn together just to save a little bit of time on the live because we all have limited amounts of time. And I want to go run and gallivant with some stuff this afternoon. Let's see who else has just shown up. Melissa says she hasn't seen Donnell in months. I mean, she's around all the time. I've seen her here and there. Good morning, Lynn, and good morning, Kathy. So if I can switch to that camera. I also got my Taco Bell this morning because I needed it. So what I ended up doing, because there wasn't enough triangles to go up and down all around. So there's 4 blocks that I was able to do where all the parts were going in the same direction. That's the words in the directional print. So I'm putting those on the top and bottom, and then on the sides, I'm putting the blocks that they could not all go in the same direction. So that is the method I'm going to do. I would have liked if they could have gone in the same direction, but patterns are patterns, and that's all that happens. Good morning, Sue. Congrats on the first live. Thank you for watching a lot. Oh, Donnell was just live. Okay, I need to start watching that because I get it. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to watch, between 10 and when I go live. So I need to put Donnell on my calendar. So I've got the top and bottom where the hearts are going to go in the same direction. And then this block has some hearts. It's a similar print, but it's inverted. So I'm going to be making sure that they go in the correct direction. And start sewing it up. These are smaller pieces, so I don't necessarily pin because I'm that crazy. I was also told last weekend that when I put the pedal to the metal, the cameras shake. So I'm going to apologize for that in advance today. I did buy a mat that has arrived, but I haven't had a chance to install it yet. So hopefully that mat will reduce some of the vibrations as I sew. When I was told last week, I was like, what do you mean my camera's shaking? Because my desk is bolted to the wall. It's an IKEA desk. Okay, well then this is going to get flipped that way because that's the only way that it'll nest. I'll just repress that a little bit later. Donnell is always on at 10 a.m. Okay. Well, then I will put you on my calendar as after Sean and before me. And because I'm a stickler for punishment, I'm going to do these in rows. So I already have this one pinned, clipped. I did that last night just so that I can not have to be fiddling with it. This was a gorgeous free pattern provided by Fort Worth Fabric Studio. I have a link to the pattern in the description of this video if you want to go check it out. It's like I said, it's completely free. There are kits available still, according to Fort Worth Fabric Studio's most recent video that they put out. Every Friday they do a what is new in their email, and they talked about the kits and that there was still plenty of kits available for anybody who wanted to sew along. So you could buy their kit, or you can kit with your own fabric. Is Russ matching his clips to his quilt? While I am kind of OCD, I these are just the cheap Amazon clips that you can get. But now that you say that, I'm going to have to go see if they have different colors so I can start matching my clips, because, you know, I can be that extra sometimes. Good morning, Awkward Quilter. Stopping in for a few minutes. I did giggle at Saturday Sampler because they showed off it was a new to them pattern. They saw it at Quilt Market, the Art East Quilt Company, So Place Like, or No Place Like Home, So Place Like Home. One of those two is what it's called. And they had the pattern available for purchase. I don't know if they're kitting it or not. And I said, yeah, I've seen this done and it's incredible. And there's a ton of little pieces. And they're like, did you do it? I said, no, a friend of mine did. Because Sean, the guy who sews, I don't think he's quite done with it yet. But I know he has been working on it extensively and replacing a lot of the fabrics in order to get a great quilt. So that's my experience to that pattern. Yep, and Amazon was a great thing. And because these things are so cheap, I don't care if there's a dud or two in there, and I've broken a handful of them, and I've lost a large handful of them. So yeah, I think I got to go find some more. Melissa's guilty of matchy matchy. I saw in my Facebook history this week, last week, where I made a comment that my shirt matched my underwear, matched my belt, matched my socks. Did I go too far? Which I found amusing. And of course, I did not go too far, because you still have to be matchy matchy sometimes. Good morning, Bonita. Although I'm now realizing it was probably kind of silly of me to do this, keeping everything together, because I can't press it all together. Well, I can if I went behind me to my big pressing mat. But I think that's just a little bit ridiculous at this point. So I'm just going to trim or snip everything apart. So what is everybody working on this morning? I hope there's a lot of awesome projects going on today. I'm just going to flip these things upside down. Since I do have the direction of the hearts visible, so hearts are pointing this way, so these hearts have to point this way. I got a surprise package from my bestie today. I knew it was coming, and I knew one of the things that was supposed to be in it, which was in there, and I was all excited. But then there was some other stuff. He told me the other day that it was coming in it, and I had completely forgotten. So when the FedEx truck arrived today, I was like, "Ooh, package time!" And I met the guy out there, and I was like, "What is clunking in here?" And I opened up the package, and was like, "Oh yeah, that's what was clunking." I had forgotten. Donna just finished a baby quilt top, pink and green flying geese top or blocks. That sounds fun. Sally is working on Cotton Cuts Carnival. Donnell is working on a 5-foot tall pineapple. Oh, I'm still going to put them piece by piece, but I will take them apart to press. A 5-foot tall pineapple sounds very tasty. I mean, pineapple is the fruit that bites you back. And my next door neighbor works for Publix. It's a supermarket chain over here. And he said that there's one of the Publix where customers will go grab a pineapple in the produce section and put it in their cart and go shopping around the store. Whatever that means. And I do know what that means. I'm just not going to explain what that means. But it's to the point where when I go shopping and I put various things up in the where the seat is, I'll send pictures to my neighbor and say, "Please tell me this doesn't count as anything. Please tell me this doesn't count as anything." Oh, Donnell says she had it hanging in the background of her live stream today. I'm gonna have to go take a peek at that. Melissa's working on a block of the month. They, I was, I get way too many projects purchased. And at the local shop, they said that they were getting a block of the month, and they also got a kit. And the kit I saw, and I am now seriously pondering. Not that I need another kit. I don't remember what it was called. What was it called? I have the picture. let's see. It's called Mountain Meadow. Let me do a quick swap. Let's see if I can show this on here. Oopsie. Come on, focus. There you go. So it's blues and purples. And they are batiks, which are fun to work with. But I was looking at those and I was like, those would be fun in grunge. And that same pattern designer did a block of the month that I purchased last year that I haven't started yet. That is made in grunges. So I'm going to do some more investigation into that pattern to see if I want to purchase the pattern or purchase the block of the month. Well, it's not a block of the month, it's a kit, they decided. Okay, hearts pointing up, hearts pointing up. Turn iron on so I can press. But when I saw that this morning, I said, I'm very, very interested. I just need to convince myself why I'm interested. Sue is making binding for a wall hanging with a panel she's had for a long time. Well, I nested this one correctly. Why didn't I nest the other ones correctly? Because I didn't know how these were going to be pieced. Good morning, Stephanie. I hope you're having an awesome day so far. So before I press these, let's see if I can show you what I have. This is either the top or bottom row. I haven't figured out which one yet. And I gotta snip those threads off. This one is the top or bottom as well. And then in the center, we are going to have this row of the center medallion and the shattered blocks on each side. And now the adventures of pressing. So this one is going to want to be pressed inwards because that's the simpler fabric. Put it over to this side so you can see what I'm doing. Because this has got a lot of seams and this doesn't, it's going to be easier to press them all towards the center block. I'm going to do a quick finger press. Same thing on this side. Hearing clunking as if I forgot a clip. which means if these are going outside, that means the top and bottoms need to be pressed towards the heart. I'm going to do a quick finger press while my iron is still finishing heating up. Thank you, Stephanie and Donnell. I have to give most of the credit to Fort Worth Fabric Studio because they're the ones who designed the pattern and made the kits. I could take a little bit of credit if I actually, kitted this myself, but I don't like kitting mysteries. If I don't know, like, where the fabrics are going to go, I don't necessarily want to do shopping for that. I have done it, and I have not finished that quilt. So yeah, I'm not big on shopping for my own mystery. Stephanie, I was telling everybody that I did show and tell of my socialites quilt, and they love the quilting of it too, just like I do. So you have more fans of your quilting that you picked. Because Stephanie did the quilting on that quilt. It's too big for my long arm. So what I am doing now is because I know which pieces here are supposed to be pointing up and down. I'm matching them so I've got the right piece up here. Putting them right sides together. My glasses to see this. I also learned today that I need to start keeping a pair of glasses closer to on me because I was in the post office trying to read these forms, which are in itty bitty print, so that I can get everything filled out. And I did what the newer generation of people are starting to do: take a picture of it on my phone and blow it up. Okay, so I got this side clipped. Let me get this side clipped because what I do is where I know I have a seam, I like to clip those first and then ease it in the center. My blocks have been doing a little bit of shredding on the edges, but that's okay. They will be solved soon. And then line up the center. Clip that. And I'll do one clip in the center of each of these other seams just so that they're not too long. Hello again, my friend Nightbot. Thank you for showing up to the party. I had a few weeks where Nightbot just wasn't saying anything for whatever reason. I know he was here because I was able to go into my Nightbot dashboard and see that he was here because it logs the chats. Not that I need the chats logged, but it logged them. And he just wasn't saying anything or responding to commands. And I was just all dumbfounded. But I managed to figure it out. Nightbot went to sleep on Donnell in the middle of her stream. Oh. Nightbot needs some caffeine. I think I'm going to be doing another trunk show at work. Because while I was yelling at some of these people saying, you know, we had agreed on this last week, and they lied through their teeth saying that they didn't hear it. One of the IT managers who's based out of Burbank was in the was on the call, and I said, you know, I've got limited availability because I'm out next week because I'm going to QuiltCon. And it took her a second to register that I said QuiltCon. And she goes, you quilt? I said, absolutely. And my boss, who was on the call, she's like, oh no, now we got them started. And that manager is going to be here in the Atlanta office sometime mid-March. And I said, if you can tell me what day you're going to do that, be here, I will pack up a handful of quilts to show a little mini trunk show like I did when our Maryland person was there. So, and then there was a bunch of my Atlanta office coworkers who were upset that they didn't get to see the quilts. So I said, well, we'll just do a conference room, and I can just say, here's what I have. You've got this little bit of time block to share because I still got my work to do. And I'm not going to leave my quilts in the building unattended in case they grow legs. Good morning, Mozilla. Golly, this is a lot of fabric. I think this quilt ends at like 54 by 54. So that explains why there's a lot of fabric. And this. So before I get the last of the center seams on, here it is. Say that because I can't really see what I just showed you. Let me get these last pressed, and I said that they are going outwards to the heart blocks. Speaking of QuiltCon, if anybody is going, feel free to ping me in the QuiltCon app or shoot me an email because I don't know if I'm actually remembering to check the QuiltCon app. If you want to, find a spot to say hi. Because I have no idea anything about the Raleigh Durham area. I found out where I'm staying, which is not where we were initially going to stay. But, plans change, things happen. Because the initial place that we were staying is half an hour away from the convention center. And if we were going to have a car, doing that drive is probably not bad. But I'm flying in now. And with me flying in, I'm not planning on getting a car because that ends up being fairly expensive at times. I didn't even price it out, but that could be fairly expensive. So instead, I'm going to be Ubering it around where I need to. And with the Ubering, I said, let me see if I can find a slightly closer hotel. The hotels that are attached to this or attached next door, immediate to this convention center, are all sold out. So I said, where's the closest one? And found one like 5 miles away. It's near a mall. So if I get bored after hours, I can go mall roaming. I haven't done that since before these times. I miss mall roaming. So that'll be fun. But if anybody wants to say hi, hang out for a little bit, just let me know and we can figure out when and where to meet up. It helps if I clip at the right location. I just picked the seam that I thought was supposed to line up here, and it was one seam off. I was like, why is this not lining up? Okay, I got the edges clipped, and then now I go for the center. because I have most of my seams are here, I'm going to put that on top so I can control where the seams are and do my best not to lose points. Although what I should be saying is this quilt is tiny compared to my socialites quilt, pushing it through. But I wasn't pushing my socialites through with this camera and this camera watching. And all I'm doing is just sewing it a few stitches at a time, and everywhere that a seam lines up, do my best to line it up, hopefully nesting it. Some of these nested, some of these didn't. And as you are passing triangles, if you have things pressed so that you can see it, there's like a little X right here where the thread is. So as long as your needle is on that X or just to the right of the X, you will not lose your point. Or if you don't care about losing your point, then go all willy-nilly. Because finished is better than perfect. Because like here, I can't see where my point is. I can imagine about where it is because I can open it up and I know it's there. It's roughly at that 1/4 inch mark, and I've got my 1/4 inch foot, so hopefully I didn't lose my point. And I don't care either way. If somebody is nitpicking your points with a gift you give them, they don't need another quilt. Now I'm approaching the last block. And I said that I was just going to flip this seam. Try to minimize some of the bulk in some of these places. Thank you, Donnell, for that little bit of feedback, asking for people to do a thumbs up if they would like. I'm sure thumbs up are some part of the YouTube algorithm. I just don't know what part it really is. I know subscribers are what I'm trying to get to right now, because when you hit 1,000, YouTube starts taking you seriously. And I'm hovering around 950, I think, the last time I checked. 949. So that's about 950. So I'm just a handful away from getting to that magical 1,000 mark. My friend Shannon hit 1,000 earlier this week, and she was excited, and I was excited for her. I'm just trying to do a quick finger press here because there's no way I can fit this in my ironing station over here. But I want to be able to show everybody what I did. See, lost a point, don't care. Kept a point, very excited. Finger press this side. Kept a point, kept a point, kept a point. Oh, I did much better on this side. Oh, wait, there's my point that I lost here. So, like I said, you barely can see it, so. And let's see if I can get you a full shot of this. I have threads all over me. So here it is. There's one more border that goes on it. It's like a 2.5-inch border, 2-inch border. I forget what size. Let me see if I have the pattern up. There's the patterns. The last pieces, they're 2.5 by width of fabric, according to the pattern. So I just got to get those pieced and put them around the edges. Good morning, Laura, who actually caught alive. I'm here every morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, so whatever the hour it is in your time zone, just get rid of the minutes, and that's what time I'm here every Saturday morning. Donnell says, so close. Yep, that is just so close. Jacqueline, yes, I am now seeing your posts. Yeah, it's I have the chat set to subscriber only. It helps keep some of the riffraff out and lets Nightbot not be as. If he decides to vanish again, I don't have to worry about the riffraff. That's it. So, good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning, Jean, who claims she's late, but it's only late if you decide you're late. I think you're perfectly on time. Good morning, or good morning, Dale. Thank you for very nice. I think a couple messages just vanished in the middle of here. So that's why I just was like, huh, wait, what? So yeah, there's a couple borders that need to be, or a single border that needs to be put on to frame it. And then that'll be done and ready to go on the long arm. I do have the backing for that, so hopefully I will be able to get that on the long arm soon. I still have to put the light it up on the long arm as well. And I have a few other things to go on the long arm, but I have no idea when I'm going to focus on long arm for a little bit. That's easier to do on the evenings if I can get it loaded on like a Monday night or Tuesday night. If I get it loaded, then Wednesday after work, since I work from home, I can get it run and not have to stress about it. Laura is in Gilbert, Arizona, and she tries each week, but uh, her father lives with her and her husband, and he can be super demanding. Uh, I know that parents can be super demanding, but I'm now an orphan because I've lost both of my parents. So I'm like, yeah, she could have been or mom and dad could have been as super demanding as they wanted at this point. I'd be like, I'd take that to have them back. So yeah, hopefully I can get at least one of these on the long arm. Not this week because it's QuiltCon week, unless I do it Monday or tomorrow. I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm doing because I got to get myself packed for QuiltCon. I have to get myself um, already. I've got one day of work because Monday's a holiday, which I realized that was kind of silly of me to only go in the office one day, but I didn't realize that Monday of QuiltCon week was a holiday. Otherwise, I would ask for the whole week off. That would have been a little bit nicer, but oh well. I've got to get Riley ready for daycare for the week because, daycare is always there. Um, and then got to get my neighbors to be in on checking in on Percy. So I've got a few things I got to do over the next couple days. And hopefully I can get that all settled so that when I get into Raleigh on Wednesday, I can just chill and relax and be happy. So I think I'm going to start wrapping up with the Southern Goodbye. I hope everybody goes out and checks all the live streams that are out this weekend. I know Mom and Pop Quilt Shop are going live at 1 Eastern, so that's in about an hour. My friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, she goes live at 5 p.m. Eastern tonight. Let's see who else. My friend Sean, the guy who sews, he has his weekly podcast that he puts out Sunday mornings about 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., my friend Shannon of Slay Arts is going to be live. Uh, Last I heard, she hasn't quite decided what she's working on tomorrow, but whenever she decides what it's going to be, that's going to be exciting. And then at 4 p.m. tomorrow Eastern, my friends Stephen and Walter will be going live on their channel, Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter. They always have a lot of fun with their lives. They start with a topic that they want to talk about. We sidetrack them. Apparently, I put in a comment or two that confuses them, but it's always a blast to chat with them. And then tomorrow evening, sometime I will have my weekly vlog out that will have the full picture of my Socialites quilt because I haven't gotten a full picture of it yet. And when I did show and tell at the local quilt shop, they take a photo. So I'm just gonna snap their or download their photo from the Facebooks tomorrow evening. So my vlog's not gonna go up until sometime after they post the pictures and get that downloaded. So I'll have that up. And this week I know Stephanie and Shannon will have on Tuesday evening their New York Beauty. That is always a fun time to sew with them. Now that I have a printer, I should start printing out the New York Beauty stuff and join in. There is no late time to join in on that. It's easy to catch up because the blocks are fairly simple, even though they're paper piecing. So as soon as I can get an extra couple minutes, I might be joining in. And then, as I said, this week is QuiltCon week. So if anybody is going to QuiltCon, you can shoot me an email to say if you want to go say hi. If you see me out on either the vendor floor or the quilt show floor or anywhere, you can say, "Hey, Russ!" And hopefully I will be able to see to say hi and everything because we've got nothing really better to do than look at the vendor floor and look at the awesome quilts. It's going to be an exciting time, and hopefully I get to see a couple of y'all. I know I'm trying to find time to meet up with a couple of my friends that I have met here on the YouTube while we are all at QuiltCon, though we are all out there on different days. So that also means next Saturday may not be an 11Z, just because I will be at QuiltCon. We will see what's going on. I may be able to put a little video up. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm bringing for technology to QuiltCon because I'm flying and I'm limited as to what I can bring on the aeroplane. Stephanie and Philip are both saying I should join the New York Beauty. Uh, it's it's in my list. I have the fabric. I do have the fabric. I just haven't had a chance to uh, get the patterns printed and get started because I've had other things going on and work crazy. Year end is finally almost over and all that, so I'll be able to start a little bit more of what I need to do, but I also need to start working back on the graduation quilts at some point because graduation is just over a year away, and I've got two that I officially had to finish because they will be graduating, and well, two more tops that I have to finish because they will be graduating. The third top, she's not graduating this year, but I'm like, you don't know when you're going to graduate, so I don't know. Do I give her quilt now with everybody else? Do I say you can't? Do I hold it back and say you can't have this until you graduate? I haven't decided on that yet. Or do I just put hers on the lower end and say, well, maybe you get this for your Christmas because this should be your graduation quilt. You just better graduate now. Either way, I'll figure it all out. But I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Awesome weekend. Go check out everybody. Get a lot of sewing done. Live the bestest days that you can because it's gorgeous outside. And I'm going to go get some air in my tires. So have a good one. Bye.